Okay, people. So I have been waiting for this moment, right? Because episode 6 of Hawkeye dropped today. So that gave me then the opportunity to sit back and eat through everything. Hoo, hoo, hoo. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I, like when this was announced, like 2018, they were talking about doing a Hawkeye. And, we thought we were getting a Hawkeye film, but then they readjusted, brought it over to Disney Plus. And hey, I'm never mad at that because it just means you have extra time to tell a story. Now, obviously, sometimes that does mean things get dragged out, but not with Hawkeye. Not with Hawkeye. But what was the story going to be out? We had a lot of things teased. There was a lot of different characters that were, hinted at that could be a part of this. But after Black Widow, we knew some things, you know? And yeah, A was able to see how it played out. Now, it's it was created by Jonathan Igler, right? Who's worked on a number of big shows. You know what I mean? He was a executive producer on Bridgerton, which was a huge hit last year. He's worked on Masters of Sex, Mad Men, Shut Eye, Pitch. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's done a lot, right? Um, it was directed by Rhys Thomas and Burton Bertie. They both took, I think, 3 episodes each. You know what I mean? We had well, I mean, gosh, yeah, who else? Right, so yeah, Eager was an executive producer along with Thomas, um, Trina Tran, Brad Winterbaum, Victoria Alonso, Louise Desespitito, and of course Kevin Feige. You know what I mean? Cinematography was Eric Stilberg and James Whitaker. It's edited by Terrell Gibson, Roseanne Tan, and Tim Roche. So, with something like this, right? Igler was the creator and lead writer, showrunner, but we also had Eliza Clement, Katie Matheson, Tana Bean, Aaron Cankino, Heather Quinn, um, and Noel Fraser. They were also in the writing room, right? They all helped out as well. Now, each episode was, I like, between 40 and 60 minutes. You know what I mean? Uh, 6 episodes? Did I say it was 6 episodes? I forget, people. Now our cast. Oh, it was a fat cast. So Jeremy Renner reprised his role of Clint Barton, Hawkeye, right? We then had Hailee Steinfeld, who took up the role of Kate Bishop. She's 22 in this. I forget how old she is in the comic books, but I know I believe she's the oldest member of the Young Avengers, right? So, there is that. Um, we also have, who's, God damn it. Vera Farmiga. Yes, she plays Eleanor Bishop, obviously Kate's mum, right? Um, we then who played Derek? Derek? Huh. I Is it Derek? Huh. Actually, I'm not sure. Fuck. I can't think of who played her dad. Yeah, he was there. He was up in the mix. Yeah, I can't remember people, but someone did play her dad. So yeah, there is that. We also had Linda Cardinelli. She reprised her role of Laura Barton. Their kids were played by oh god, who the name of those little bratty brats? Yes, it's Ben Sakamoto, Ava Russo, and Cade Woodard. They played the Barton children. Cade is Nathaniel. Ava is Leela, and Ben is Cooper. Right? We had Alex Pronovic as Ivan. He was an enforcer for the tracksuit mafia. Oh, Brian D.R.C. James is Derek Bishop, Kate's dad. Yes, there we go. Whew. We also had Frey Fee. He played Casimir, another member of the tracksuit mafia. Pieter Adamaski played Thomas, Tracksuit Mafia. Okay, so we have got Simon Callow played Armand de Kuhns, the third, the uncle of Tony Dalton's character, Jack Dupuis, who is dating Kate's mum. Yeah, obviously after it's a thing. That's not really a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. It happens literally in the opening sequence, as it were. So we also have got Alaqua Cox. So this was interesting, right? Because later in the game, we heard that Echo would be appearing. Now, Echo is a character created by David Mack and Brian Bendis. There's another name, Brian Michael. Is it Brian Michael Bendis? I think it is Brian Michael Bendis. But yes, they created Echo during Bendis's run on Daredevil. And the character is great, right? Really interesting, but she's deaf. But in the comic book, she could, pick up any fighting style by watching it. And she's, Native American. Native American, then that's what you say, right? Indigenous, right? And yeah, it's a very interesting character. So it was always like, how are they going to depict that, right? But they hired Alaqua Cox, who's deaf, right, and of an indigenous descent as well. So it was just like, they did a good job with all of that. So I was very interested to see how is she going to appear, right? Because that was going to be like interesting. So we had Zahn McClammon, who is her dad, William Lopez. Oh gosh, there's Carlos Navarro played Enrique, another tracksuit warrior, cat up in there, and Clayton English played Grills. Adeletrupi Thomas played Wendy. Robert Walker Branchard played Conrad. And Adele Darlos played Orville. No, Missy. Sorry, Missy. No, and yeah, Robert played Orville. Apologies. Yes, and they're part of a LARPing group with Grills, which, yeah, was definitely an interesting situation with this, right? And then we had Florence Pugh up in the mix, which, that was something that we knew after Black Widow, right? She was going to. Now, I did recall there was a word that Taskmaster was going to be in it as well, but that didn't happen. But we did. Oh my days, we did get a surprise appearance, which was pretty friggin' fantastic. Oh my god. It really, yeah, was not expecting it one little bit. But damn. Oh my god. Yeah, you will be very happy when I think it's episode 5, right? When yeah, this character shows up, because I feel when you're watching it, it is kind of hinted at, right? Kind of. Well, not really hinted at, but we get mention of a nemesis, as it were. And you're wondering and being like, hold on, could that be? No, that's not gonna be. No, that wouldn't be, would it? And it was. Oh my gosh, it was. And yeah, you are definitely brings a smile to your face, because it ties in a little bit to something Feig had said about another character. So when this one shows up, you're like, oh shit. Okay, we are getting busy up in here, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Yeah, it just opens things up. It opens things up, and it also gives us that happy transition from one franchise kind of thing to the next. You know what I mean? It was something people were talking about about 5 years, probably 6 years ago now, right? If this would happen. So yeah, seeing this and then hearing also what Feig said recently, yeah, you're like, outstanding. Because so like the casting was superb with this other stuff. So you were just like, oh man, does that mean we lose all these great freaking characters? No, it doesn't, people. No, it doesn't. And that's very good. That's very bloody good. So the gist of the story is this. Former Avenger Clint Barton has a seemingly simple mission: get back to his family for Christmas. Possible. Maybe with the help of Kate Bishop, a 22-year-old archer with dreams of becoming a superhero. The two are forced to work together when a presence from Barton's past threatens to derail far more than the festive spirit. Now, I will say this, right? There is plenty of times when you know, like you watch something and you feel things are forced, like a Christmas movie. You know what I mean? And be like, did that need to be? You know, especially I always hated, you know, I mean, there was a series of something you enjoyed, and you know, it's December, so we've got to make a Christmas episode, and it's just like, ugh, fuck it. So yeah, I did wonder because at first I didn't know like this was meant to be based around Christmas. So it was like, what are they doing? But no, didn't feel forced. Didn't feel forced at all. Right? We open up getting a feel on the Kate Bishop character. Right? We are showing her as a little Ute, and I've got to say, right, at the very start of this, I was a bit like, ugh, because, you know, she's a little rich girl, and you're just like, am I going to be able to vibe here? You know what I mean? Like, will I care? You know? But, yeah, it's, you do kind of get that nice little sense on the character, right? Because I feel you learn more. And the young, you know, Kate Bishop is played by Clara Stack. You know what I mean? And yeah, does a great job, right? Because you learn what is the emphasis for becoming Hawkeye, right? Why she was so eager to do this. We do get like this flash of her training and learning all these skills. And again, a little apprehensive because I'm just like, yo, to become a master in all of those things, just one of those on its own, that's gonna take years, right? She's only 22. So there is a bit like, ugh, that's a little dumb. But again, right? That this is just like the literally the opening kind of few minutes, right? They give us all of this kind of backstory on Kate, you know, her mom, her dad, like what kind of happened, everything like this. It's connected to the events of 2012, right? Avengers 1, um, you know, with the Battle of New York and all of this. So it ties in, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense, right? So we get some of the scenes from that film interjected, and it looks very good. Looks very good. Then we jump forward, right? We jump forward. And again, you know, she's living in this stush little house, and you were wondering how they're going to play it, right? But they don't try and shy away from the fact she's from money, you know. But the frictions and you know situations, they do feel natural, right? When you think about it all, you're like, yeah, that makes sense, right? I get that. And also, right, there is the bravado, you know what I mean, of, well, I'm great at all of these things, so I can do this. And the thing I very much enjoyed is they showed a lot of fuck ups, right? They didn't try and make people perfect. They showed these mistakes and the learning curves and everything like that. So it's just like, yo, okay, yeah, I'm digging that. This speaks to me, man. And you know, the first episode, it kind of takes a while to bring certain people in and all of this, but you are intrigued, right? It's setting certain characters up for you to think and believe and all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, you're watching and you're like, oh, that means that is, and oh, that's leading to, and you are definitely on this ride, right? And the kind of team up between Clint and Kate, again, feels very natural, right? Because as this moves on, you understand what kind of one of these big themes of this is. And it's like family, right? Family is this big, strong component, right? Clint wanting to get home to his family for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, because it's a year after Endgame when all of this happens, and we know they all disappeared in the blip, right? That's in Endgame, people. No spoilers. Uh, so yeah, this is his first Christmas with them, and he thought they were going to be dead and all of this. So that's very raw. So you understand the motivations of Clint, right? So there's Kate. Like her family situation. Her dad's dead. Um, her mum, like she's with a new dude. So there's kind of that, but another thing, they didn't make that big. You know what I mean? Like when you watch something and it's like, I don't want you to be happy with someone else, and it's just like, you're an adult, grow the fuck up, man. They didn't play that angle, which I was very happy about. But there was still these things, right? Which you think, oh, yes, all of this makes sense. All of it makes sense. But you can see that, she lost her dad. So she lost that figure in her life. Because, if you see, she loved her dad. She kind of, followed him and adventures and just all of this kind of stuff. So then, as we see from the beginning, how first sees Clint, you can see the importance of that and why she is so eager to impress him, right? So it's all kind of playing on these things, right? When we bring Maya, Echo into it, right? We again, it's another family situation. You know what I mean? Like we see Little Maya, who's played by Darnell Besaw, right? Who really killed it. And there's a nice little scene with her teacher, right? And it just works very, very well. Teacher played by Sissy Cow, right? And we get these really nice little scenes in there. Her friend, is Kazzy, played by Frey Free, part of the Tracksuit Mafia, which was definitely a fun part of Matt Fraction and David Eicher's comic book run, right? And that this heavily brings a lot of stuff from that. We have Pizza Dog, Lucky, played by Jolt. Which is just a fun thing. Like, oh, how are they gonna do the whole Pizza Dog thing? And it works, man. It really does. But again, there's just all of these kind of things that really speak about these connections and everything like that. So as it goes on, right, you understand Clint's decisions, right? Why he would do certain things. And we had these great little interactions. There really is this chemistry between Renner and Steinfeld. You know what I mean? So you buy this relationship and how it evolves and how it moves. He talks to her like at the beginning a little harshly, but you understand he's trying to protect her, right? He's seeing all of these people die, right, over the course of the Avengers films and everything like that. And it's just like after Natasha, right, there's this weight on him, right? Because trauma is another big part of this. It's a big part of Clint's story. It's a big part of Maya's story. Even Kate, right? There's this trauma that is a driving force. Yelena, right? There's all of these people trying to deal with these things and get past these things, right? So yeah, you get these great little interactions and conversations, which is great. Oh my gosh, the whole thing with Thomas and Kate as well. Be like, hey, good thing is to imagine dragons. I'm sorry about that. It's just I'm a root, but it's just great. There is this humor going through, but it doesn't feel like a forced humor. You know what I mean? So you just watching it and you smile, right? And hey, for Alex Pernovic, right? He is very good in this, and that's good because I just Puppet Master didn't. I mean, if you check into Echo Chamber, a few weeks ago we looked at Puppet Master. Alex Pernovic is in that, and it didn't quite work for me. But it's good to see him shine because he's been great in a lot of other things. And so yeah, he killed it in this, and just the whole tracksuit mafia thing was handled very well because it could have been too comical, right, and ruin the pace and the flow, but no, it's great. You know what I mean? Moving Bros. Oh my gosh. And one of the other genius things is Rogers, the musical. It's you're just like, oh shit, this looks crazy, right? You kind of hark back to Spider-Man. Was it Spider-Man Turn Out the Lights or something like that? Crazy Spider-Man musical. But yeah, Rogers the musical, people. Oh, that was a stroke of genius. And I mean, like the story. Oh man, the story of this is very good because as it goes on, new kind of folds come into it. And I do believe, right, that there's things that happen that do kind of catch you. Because they played it so well that it wasn't transparent, right? That you were like, oh fuck, okay, that's where you're going. Nice. And especially, yeah, when we get this cameo, right? As I said, you wondered because there were certain things said, and you're like, would that mean? And I know. I've heard nothing about it, right? And you'd think surely that would have been broken, right? But God bless the people that kept it a secret, right? Because there's people yapping all manner of shit. And God bless those motherfuckers for not putting shit on Instagram and Twitter and all of that. Because I was so happily pleased when that came out of it. But yeah, we're gonna get the Echo spin-off series. That was announced earlier in the year. So, and I think there's definitely fertile ground now to cover with that. I think we could definitely get a season 2 of Hawkeye. I would not be mad at that because, yeah, just the way everything works and all of that, man, it was also, I will say, right, it wasn't just throwing Echo in there, right? Be like, oh, we need representation, let's do that. But the story makes sense, and it also then plays off Clint's hearing loss, right? Which is handled so well, And it was so good to see Yelena again because Kate Bishop, you are so funny. Yeah, people. If you haven't watched Hawkeye, I highly recommend it. If you've enjoyed all the Disney Plus Marvel if you've enjoyed the Marvel series so far on Disney Plus, which you know hey, when they folded to Marvel TV, right, and it was like Marvel Studios is taking over the TV stuff, I thought that was pretty great because you kind of figured, oh, we're gonna be able to get proper crossover with the films, and we've been getting crossover with the films, but the quality of these shows, god damn, it's so fucking good. It's so now the Netflix stuff was great, all right, but this stuff, we ain't had a dud yet, people. We have not had a dud yet. So if you've enjoyed all the things to past, this ain't gonna let you down. Trust me. So people, go get you some Hawkeye, some Pizza Dog, some Kate Bishop, some Echo. Hey, it's definitely worth it. And people, you will enjoy the surprise. Trust me. Just stay off the internet because I imagine people will be talking about it more now. But yeah, stay off, avoid the spoilers because when it happens, you're gonna be so fucking happy. So yeah, go get you some Hawkeye.